brands want athletes' engagement. That's what the brands ultimately want, right? Their athletes' engagement on social. The Donda situation was just as simple as that, and then it being Kanye.
Kanye West is expanding his empire from music and fashion to education.
And him doing basketball, that was a big debate. Times are changing to where what was traditional isn't anymore. Kentucky, I mean, that environment was different.
And an offensive foul on Lang Wiseman, big call.
Tayshaun Prince. Tayshaun said no way.
It was different. The fact is, athletes, if you want to, in the NBA, you're going to have to play a role.
Those guys are pivotal to winning, bro.
If you're a middle school or high school athlete, your focus should be around building your social media following and starting to curate like who you are on your page.
Some of these kids do, they entitled, like, but I had somebody tell me a story, not to say no names, but some kids are coming in talking about, look, I need 20 shots a game.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be 100, I'm old school, man. Get the fuck out of here with that, bro. Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome to Hoop Lounge TV, where we sit back, kick back, talk about hoops, man. Listen, special guest today, man. Listen, I got a guy here, been through the ringer with basketball, overseas playing. Now he is managing relationship with Clutch Sports, man. Got a school, CPI, doing big things in the NIL world, man. Listen, big time CEO, Era Sports Management. Shout out to my man, Rico Grier, man. What's going on, big dog?
My man.
What's going on, big dog?
Love.
Man, listen, man. This whole vibe's cool, bro.
Yes,
just because, you know what I'm saying, I just remember the first time I met y'all back at West Caldwell. You was down there hooping with Dan when you had braids,
they
man.
don't know about those times, bro. Like, what? Cut it out.
Dog days,
Yes.
bro. Dog days,
Yes.
man. Dog days. But listen, man, we're gonna jump off into it, man. Tell me about this. What is your experience in this NIL space? Because I think it's so nuanced right now.
Right.
A lot of people want to know what's going on.
That's right.
Parents really don't know what's going on with
That's
this. So what is NIL? And then what's the difference between NIL and NIL Collective, man?
Yeah, no, good question, man. It's my experience with it is it's interesting, man. It's before it became technically legal, like literally right before, people forget this, but my relationship with Mikey Williams, right?
I forgot all about that, bro.
So Mikey moved from California to North Carolina, and I'm very close with that family. That's a good, solid family. And at the time, Mikey was the number one kid in the country. So NIL literally followed right behind him moving to North Carolina and became legal. But, my OG, my big bro, my mentor, Ulyss Payne Jr., who's my partner within Cyber Athletics, he was on the Ed O'Bannon case, which is a part of why NIL is even legal today. Right?
Got you.
So just been learning a lot about it, but since it became legal, it's been interesting, man. It's two forms of NIL. Okay. Obviously, NIL stands for name, image, and likeness.
Correct.
And I think right now, when it comes to that, around the athlete, it really is around brands and brands wanting to work with you because they like what you portray on social, right?
Correct.
And that's where athletes, some are take advantage, some are not so much right now,
I got you. Well, let me ask you this. How did the Mikey situation come about? I know he came from California, but he came to North Carolina for a little while.
Right.
How involved was you in that process, and then what was your day-to-day situation with him whenever you got tapped in?
Same. Like, honestly, it was the same intention then with Mikey, wanting to manage, wanting to be in the sports business, and help athletes, right? Navigate the business and the space of it. And him going to Lake Norman Christian, at the time my son was already there. I had a relationship, and
you say your son, you talking about JJ?
JJ,
okay,
yep. My son JJ was there at Lake Norman Christian, and then Mikey, that's where he attended. And it brought a lot of light to that school, a lot of light. That's where I really learned, like I had, I would say, my first reality check of the business, right? Where the impact that athletes can have on the institution, you know, academically. So that was interesting because Lake Norman Christian, you know, at the time, it wasn't at capacity. Let's just say that. Yeah. Right. And then there was a waiting list. So it was interesting times, you know. But my involvement, I was close, you know, to the school decision and even bringing and creating opportunities for Mikey, you know, once NIL became legal, right up until he signed with Excel and signed his Puma deal. Just been there. That kid's resilient, man, even to what he's going through now and him being at UCF, you know.
Yeah, man. He's I think that's how I think that's really how the Ellis brothers got on. That whole that debacle they had playing, you know what I'm saying? Just
that was at Huff High School, I believe that game was at. Like, yeah. They so you know, even see, this is where again I was involved with setting that game up. You know, the whole that game to like just I'm just being honest, bro. Like even setting it up, Huff. I live in Davidson. Yeah. You know, that's JJ's. If JJ was to go to his home school, it would be Huff.
Got you.
You know, so that Mikey and Trey Parker coming to vertical and then playing Moravian, you know, it was yeah.
Crazy, man, crazy. Because man, listen, man, because that NIL world, bro, it's so different, and I think some people have a understanding on the collective side of it, where you know the schools is pay to play. You know what I'm saying? Let's just call a spade a spade. Okay. Now the brand side of it, I think that's where it gets murky because not all brands are gonna pay you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They might just give you a stipend or something of that nature. So like how would a parent go about as far as if they don't have no connection to you per se, how would they start a foundation of it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would they post? Like, what age should you think you get started with the athlete, period?
Yeah, I think, so the age, I would say, is subjective just because, you know, you got, like, literally kids that are, like, YouTube stars now. So, like, it's crazy, just different now.
It's crazy, bro.
So, I think the age is subjective around, like, the parents and the family around the kids, but I would say that where you start is this understanding that social media is the business. I mean, that's where brands want athletes' engagement. That's what the brands ultimately want, right? Their athletes' engagement on social. So, like, for example, with Rob, he has really high engagement. Like, his engagement is off the charts, you know? So brands would typically want to integrate with him doing what he's doing authentically on social media, whether that be him showing his drip or, you know, whatever it is.
You gotta sell yourself, dog, a little bit, dog. It is. It does. Because I noticed, too, with like with these brand deals, it's like, say, for example, if you got like Rob, for example, he got the highlights where he's doing all that, but then you got, on the other side, people be like, well, that ain't really basketball, that's just highlights. But, bro, there's a whole business side to that. Yeah, like you're attracting brand. You're marketable. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I know when I was watching Club 520, when Jeff Teague was trying to explain it, right? Yes. So he was saying NIL the agents normally they're in between that, let's just say 10 to 20%. Right. But if some players are not marketable, how do you get them marketable?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, and I think first is being real about what it is or isn't with said player, right? Like if they're not marketable, but they're all you could do is take a stab at it and try, because on social media, this is where it comes down to. Some would say it's just highlights. I get it, right? But people are watching it.
Bro, it gets fucking engagement,
People
dog.
are watching it, so it's the engagement to that highlight, and it's not typically about that thing that's being highlighted. Right. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of what people interact with, right? And I think it's just understanding. That's what I think I'm trying to be better at, really explaining that to families and to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like just how to even look at using the social media, right? Like, because it's all about curating who you want the world to believe you are.
Correct.
Right?
There's a certain image,
Yes.
certain
Yes.
persona that you want to carry.
And you know, within that, it's also, I do believe athletes should stay authentic. I do feel like you shouldn't like change your something just to work with said brand. And this is where the education comes into play, right?
Talk to me.
Around like, okay, what type of, how do I do it, right? What should I be thinking about? Well, first, let's think about developing your brand, right? Like to sell a brand, you have to have a brand.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So that takes, just like athletes' games or whatever it is, sport they're working towards, that takes development.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, development's an endless journey, dog. Like,
Yes.
so regardless on what that is, development, sports, business, understanding your brand, bro. Like I think that's the foundation, like
100%.
all day long. So let me ask you this. So if you got a kid, let me give you a scenario. So you got a kid that say they play, let's just say basketball, right? Let's keep it basketball.
Right.
But they have a passion in playing video games.
Right.
There's a brand there. How would you advise, say, a kid to leverage his authenticity of maybe playing Fortnite, but he's dope in basketball? How would you talk to a parent to try to put that awareness together for them?
Yeah, I think it's around first that plan, telling them, hey, let's develop a plan, right? And understanding those things of his athletic ability and then what he's into gaming wise, because that's a real thing too.
That's
you know,
huge, dog.
esports and streaming now, it's just, that's a real thing too.
That's
so
huge, bro.
I think this is where I think, you know, we get in trouble sometimes to where we make it like it's this or that, right? Like I think it's like that's where it gets like, no, it could be both. It could be both.
It can be both, bro.
It could be both, and I think it's perspective, and then I think it's around trust, right? And who are you getting your guidance from?
Yep.
Right? Who are you listening to ultimately to help you make decisions, right? And I think that's where, yeah, man, it just goes back to just your support.
Yep.
Your foundation.
I agree.
You know?
So how important though is keeping the main thing though?
I think the most important thing is that keeping the main thing, right? And I think that's where for basketball players, like it has to be about basketball. You gotta be good.
You still have to train. Like you still
but you gotta be good. Like you gotta be good, and like you have to move the needle. You have to impact winning. Mm-hmm. You can't just be a role player but want like the treatment of like you're the guy, you know.
Okay.
And typically when you're the guy, you don't think you're the guy, and you don't move like that. And it's just it's you don't have to. I think people tell you. I think people's reactions to you kind of show you, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think
Listen, man. To me, bro. I think a lot of this NIL, bro. I think you being on here today is just kind of giving a real perspective on what it is, because man, it's so raw, it's so new that like even somebody me in the basketball world, I don't fully understand it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a son, but I don't even know how to really. I just know I post this stuff right now, but I'm just building a foundation, and then I'll learn as I go. But it's one of those things, bro. It's still wide open. Like I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's still raw, and this will pivot to this. So you see a lot of coaches now falling off to me. And I think it's a lot because now players got a voice. Right. They get paid now.
Facts.
And so how do you feel about some of these coaches that are retiring, and it's just more, and it has a lot to do with the NIL situation. Some of these kids might be entitled. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's evolving. I think the times are so different. Times are changing to where what was traditional isn't anymore.
It's not.
You know? So I think it's with evolution comes where now you creating this dialogue, right? Why, you know? And I think this is where it's an endless, you know, it's an endless space of like I don't think we'll ever really get to it, but I think the people that are like making the most impact are like doing the work every day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Regardless of what has changed, what is moving, what is not, like those people that are keeping going. But I do think, you know, coaches and don't have the energy for it. Like it takes a lot of energy, bro. Like it takes a lot of energy.
Yep. And I think a lot of these college coaches though, bro, like it's new to them.
Yes.
Because like I don't like, you know how the NBA right now, like you got an agent dealing with it, and then you got the team's agent and the coaches and the players, they don't deal. These two are dealing with it. I think in that college world right now, it's a little bit of mix of both. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of mix of both, and I feel like it's a business. Some coaches are coaching basketball, like they're not dealing with the business side of it. So I can understand if you not privy to it, dog. And then some of these kids do, they entitled. Like, but I had somebody tell me a story, not to say no names, but some kids are coming in talking about, look, I need 20 shots a game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 100. I'm old school, man. Get the fuck out of here with that, bro.
That type of entitlement is crazy.
Yeah, bro.
That's all 20 shots a game.
Yeah,
like
20 shots a game. Pay me this. I'm like, now hold on now, dog. Like, bro, like, what we doing in practice?
Yeah.
Are we working out enough, bro? Yeah, bro.
Are we winning? Let's start there. Are we winning? Like, that's where we got to start.
Bro, listen.
Like, yes.
30 and a dub, it means something.
Facts.
30 and you constantly losing.
It's not the same.
Nah, bro, it ain't the same.
I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah,
you
bro,
know,
I'm
that
not.
don't.
Yeah, I can't buy it because like if I watch your film and it's trash baskets, it's hard for me to respect that, dog.
Right.
It's hard for me to respect that side of it, man. So I know these coaches, they deal with the pros and cons of it, but listen, man, it's not the strongest to survive, but the ones most adaptable to change, big dog.
Yeah,
and they got to jump on that.
And creating, I think certain programs have a certain culture around them. You know what I mean? So, like Kentucky, I mean, that environment was different.
Was it?
It was different. Like
did Cal adapt to it though?
Yeah, like I mean, while we were there and Kyle was at Kentucky, that staff, like just the environment, like it was special, bro. It was like a blur. You know what I mean? But even him, you know, going to Arkansas, like obviously it's different now, but Kentucky is still Kentucky.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
There's a name behind it.
It is, you know, it's a brand.
I agree.
Like,
no matter what coach is there.
Yeah.
No matter what coach is there, bro.
Yeah.
It is. So. From the back in the day to all the way today, bro. Like it's a brand, bro. I was reading John Thompson's book, I Come as a Shadow, bro.
Yes.
Like that's a good book, but he talked about, you know, just Rupp.
Yes.
Like his name carries weight from not taking black players until he lost the black players.
Big facts.
And then now that carries away all the way to the day from Cal, Tubby, and like you said, the brand name Kentucky that's what it is. But the SEC right now though, bro, listen.
Oh,
it's over. It's over right now. They remind me of the old ACC.
Yes.
With Chris Paul, Georgia Tech.
Yes, it was like really good games.
Bro, goodness, bro.
Yes.
It's must-watch TV, and man, I like what Bruce Pearl does. I like Pettis.
Yes.
Boy, he's Brandon Jennings 2.0 to me.
Like him?
Yeah, I like him, bro.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's efficient. You know what I'm saying? He comes off the bench though, man. He accepts his role, bro. And I think that's imperative for freshmen because I know I'll be following this dude on IG. What's his name? Coach Barnes. He's at Bakersfield.
Yeah. He always be dropping gems.
Man, bro,
He
dropped the crazy one. So you seen the one he talked about the top freshmen and the average minutes?
I ain't see that.
Well, I tell you, so the freshmen, the top 100, their average minutes is 15 minutes a game. From the top 5, they're average about 25. So you talking about Ace.
Wow.
Cooper. Like guys like that. But once you start dropping down, bro, these kids are top 100 kids only average at 8 minutes a game, stuff like that. But the average freshman right now in the whole top 100 is only 15 minutes. Why do you think that is, though, bro?
Because it is a system. It is a system, and the system wants you to fit in. The system wants you to play your position. right? Play your role within this position for this system.
Be a star in it though, bro.
Yes. Oh, that has to be the mindset,
I
right?
agree.
That's
I
where,
agree.
it always goes back to, the you versus you and, all of the good stuff. But like, hey, the fact is, athletes, if you want to, in the NBA, you're going to have to play a role.
Bro.
You're going to have to play a role.
And those guys are pivotal to winning, bro. Like I don't like.
It goes back to
I think that's slept on, bro. Like
Right.
everybody ain't a LeBron.
Right.
Everybody ain't an AB option, bro.
Right.
Like it's okay to be starting
Right.
your role because
Yes.
nowadays these role players are getting that bag, dog.
Well, not only that, but this is where it goes back to is like people forget this because we just watching it, right? But like, bro, these guys are competitors. They hoopers every day trying to win. Like literally, you know what I mean? So it truly is a different mindset, So I think when it comes to those few minutes, though, how good you got to be in the NBA,
Bro.
it's crazy.
To me, I know they kill me with that. Oh man, he ain't that. But one of my favorite players that I think that he embodies a role, and I don't think he gets enough love is Patrick Beverly, bro. People don't understand, bro. That boy averaged 37 points in high school. Went overseas in 8, but then you come to the NBA, and your role is to shut people down, be a pest.
Winner. Fucking winner. That's it.
Bro, I'm signing him up on my
like
squad.
Winner.
League,
You want winners, bro.
Yeah, man, because he had a crazy stint in Houston. I don't think he gets enough love for it.
Yeah.
If I wish I could pull it up, but you can look at his numbers in Houston. Bro, there's games where he has 10 points, 8 rebounds.
That's
7
consistent,
assists.
though. That's consistent.
4 steals.
And yeah, I was gonna say, you got to mention the steal.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
Being a pest to somebody,
Right.
dog. Like,
Facts.
like that's how he lasted in the NBA so long,
Yes.
bro. Like guys like that need their flowers, but I think like players need to understand those guys' role. And I think another guy I love too, Drew Holiday, bro.
Yeah,
Goodness
man.
gracious,
Solid.
bro. Drew
Solid.
Holiday don't get enough love, bro. Like he guards the 1 through 4 physically. You can put a jumper in his mouth, and he's coming back next possession. Do it again.
Yes.
Okay, I'm taking that away. Do something
and
else.
going at you too, though.
Yeah.
Bro,
Ultimate two-way player. Like I think these two-way players nowadays are tough, bro. Like
Yes.
Drew Holiday. I'm a big fan of Marcus Smart. His physicality, making it work, bro.
Kids need to study the greats at defense. Like I don't think like that's one thing I think because of social media and you talk about NIL even too. I don't know if kids are watching film like that.
Man,
like because it's like all YouTube is all highlights, is all like quick hitting stuff, So, but the study film that's gonna be a difference maker.
Yeah, but I think film's pivotal. I think somebody else too. I know he's the NBA villain though, but Draymond, bro, like
winner though, bro. Like, go back, listen, winner,
bro. Draymond, bro, listen, I'm a fan of that shit talk. Like I love the Rasheed Wallace's KG. I love that, bro, because it's a psychology game they playing out there, bro.
All mental.
Like my thing with Draymond is I remember watching him in the finals, right? Does he shoot threes? Every once in a while. But if you back off him and Rondo would make you pay. And I just remember Draymond simply, okay, you gonna sit in the paint? Okay, I'm gonna just dribble dead at carry. You gonna come off his screen, the big man sagging off. Okay.
Right. Wide open.
Guard me now. Guard me now. Like
right.
you're gonna have to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But guys like that though, bro, like that's IQ, bro.
Yeah,
that's big IQ. And I think villains have a brand. That can cross over to that NIL world.
100%.
Bro, listen, that villain role.
Well, when you go back to NIL, it goes back to the villain role or to where even view the hero, right? Like it goes back to creating the narrative and then attempting to control the narrative that you create.
Correct.
Right? That's where I think the foundation of building a brand begins.
Yep.
You know?
And a lot of these NBA players, they got voices now. So it ain't you just can't rely on the media. Now you got the media, but now Draymond gonna hit you with a podcast. No, that ain't what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me control my narrative. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Let me control my narrative and what's going on.
That's
you know
amplified to millions, though, right? That's the impact. That's the impact.
Them, bro, dogs, man. Last dog I'll bring up, though, and then we'll go on to the other topic. But my favorite one, Ron Artest, dog.
Right.
Ron Artest was an animal on defense, dog. Wasn't scared, but those dogs, two-way players,
and a bucket too, though. And a bucket though,
Sacramento,
like,
bro. Come on, man. Come on.
Yes,
he's taking on Kobe.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
taking on this guy, and that's what I do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, guys like that I just like to highlight those guys, bro, because I feel like those guys are responsible for Kobe winning a ring, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Those guys are responsible. It lets Kobe be Kobe.
Right.
Kobe ain't got to go out here and guard this guy. Kobe, listen, I need you to put up 30 shots tonight. Ron Artest got him.
Yes.
Yeah, go get him, bro. Go get him, bro.
Fun fact about Travis Walton, though. So Travis Walton, when you talk about Draymond, so Travis Walton is now Draymond's chief of staff. So Travis Walton is, let me see, Rob was, I want to say, a sophomore. Travis, you know, he's been coming to Charlotte, and, you know, we've been knowing each other several years, right? But Travis actually trained Rob. He had Mikey in the gym. At the time, Aiden Holloway.
Man, I love Aiden.
Jaden Bradley, right? North Carolina got some heat, bro. Hey, listen, it's some heat. It's the hoop state for real.
Yeah, it is, man. And I just remember even that, man, I know I had Darnell Mack on here the other day.
Yeah, D-Mac. Memphis, what? Bro,
Man.
he was a problem.
Bro, listen, he had, so he was talking about how, you know, hoop state, talking about, like how you talking about it. You know, at that time, bro, you know, Ish and Curry weren't even in the top 150 at the time.
Facts.
At all, bro. Like, development was big for them, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Development was huge for them, too, bro. So, nah, that's North Carolina needs its flowers, though, bro. Hands down.
Yes.
Top to bottom, bro. North Carolina needs them flowers.
100%.
So listen, man, so let's talk about this. How did you get your hands on Rob? When did you get him? What made you like, okay, he's like that?
Right. Well, I mean, one, been seeing Rob, knowing Rob since 4th grade, like seeing him play. You know, that's where I first like seen him. But
in AAU?
Yes.
Okay.
He was playing, I think, at like Talbot Rec, and it was like, I don't know if it was AAU States or something, but I saw him play against Bronny's team. You know, when Bronny in that whole, you know, time frame when they was coming to Charlotte, but since he was young, bro, he's always had that wiggle, like just the wow factor, like
so
seriously,
slithery, bro.
Yeah, like
bro.
you know. But it wasn't until 8th grade where I started to develop the relationship. You know, Robert's dad and I connected. And it was like COVID, and it was like COVID had just happened, and, you know, gyms was shut down. It was like everything, it was just like, you know.
And he was playing with the Game Changers, wasn't he?
He was playing tournaments with the Game Changers with Shane, like Dylan, like it was like, but so there was still some connectivity going, but we was just in the gym, right? So when Dad and I connected, we was just in the gym. You know, he was bringing Rob to the gym. We was training, and, you know, that's how the relationship started.
Yep.
You know.
Okay, got you. And then it just snowballed into the whole, hey, let me take care of this. Let me take care of this.
Yeah.
In that scenario.
So it just happened. You know, honestly, nothing was playing. You know, like it just happened to where Robert always was special. Robert always had like the thing that where, you know, he had the potential to go somewhere, right?
He had a different edge, bro.
Oh,
I feel
100%.
like, yeah, he had a different edge. I think with them kids, bro, if you got that competitive edge,
right,
I feel like that's a big advantage right now, bro. Like you're not soft. You can deal with getting hit in the mouth. You can dealing with, you know.
That come from his mama and daddy. That come from both. Like, cause both have, like, you see, I mean, just from my lens, I see it, you know, cause I really do know Donald and I know Leah, you know, I know them, you know, like family.
Yeah.
And so like seeing their personalities, right, and their mindset, perspective, and how Rob is, like you see both sides. You know, his mom's, you know, Samoan. People don't even talk about that, but that Samoan side of them, like.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, that's where that's how me and Denzel rap before, because you know my mom's from Hawaii, so so that whole side of it it's different, bro. It's a differerent culture, like
family.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's bro, it's so family oriented, bro. I'm telling you, bro, they so loyal to family, it could almost be a default sometimes.
100%.
That's how loyal they are, bro.
Family
all day, bro. And that's but that's dope. Just the backstory, bro, and kind of just, you know, how the dynamic on how it was put together. But that edge that boy got is different, dog.
It is.
It's different, bro.
That's what's driving them now. You know, I don't think for the greats, honestly, I don't think it'll ever be enough.
What you mean? Elaborate.
Like, it doesn't matter what it is that you achieve. It's just going to be something in your mind that kind of like, it's going to be something else. You know, I want a little bit more. I want a little bit more. And it's not a bad mindset at all. But that's what drives, I think, the greats. You know.
So check this out. So I had Denzel on here.
Right.
I'd always ask him a question about, well, how did Rob feel? Every response was, no, he had a chip on his shoulder. But they traded that pick. What's up? Like
he found a reason.
But you need that, bro.
That's what I'm.
You gotta create that, bro. Like that's what.
Yes,
bro. That's why I put my son through the ringer. There was a few AAU teams that so-called didn't want him, so I flipped the script. Bro, they didn't think you was good enough. His first response to me, Daddy, I'm better than them.
Yes, sir.
Just off rip, bro. I'm trying to put that in them, but bro, you gotta make up shit sometimes, bro.
You have to. Gotta talk to yourself.
I used to start shit on purpose, just to make somebody
get something going.
I would say something, and you know the guys that didn't respond, I'd be like, man, go on, man. But the first one that will respond, I'm going at you.
Right.
But it didn't have to be me getting buckets at you. Right. It could be me indirectly, like, hey, coach said back off him, he can't shoot. And here he go trying to play one-on-one. Okay, I got his ass. Like I'm in his head.
Yeah.
I used to make shit up, man.
Yeah,
bro.
That's the mind game.
It is. Look, so let's pivot to this though, bro. You was at Pfeiffer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Played ball overseas.
Yep.
Broke some records, man.
Yep.
Talk to me about your college experience playing D2, because who was your coach at the time? Was it
Dave Davis?
All right, now listen. Y'all was 5 in, 5 out offense. I mean, 5 in, 5 out Southern, and 100%. It was constant pressure.
Yes.
All day long. That style of basketball, a lot of coaches don't like it. Some players don't like that. How did that benefit you, though, at the time, bro?
Well, I think it taught me how to operate within chaos. It taught me how to stay calm within chaos.
That's a key trait of being an entrepreneur, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta be comfortable in that shit.
So yeah, it taught me how to stay calm. Honestly, bro, because it was high tempo. It was intense. It was even on missed shots. We're pressing. We're into you. We're shooting a lot of threes. I could tell you numerous of times. I'm 1-on-0 fast break. I'm shooting a 3.
I don't give a damn.
Listen,
I'm pulling it.
It was like that, bro. It was like that, and we scored a lot of points. We scored a lot of points. We really did, and so within that, we literally had schools that literally there were articles. This is public stuff, you know. Like it was. They called it. They said we play street ball. You know, it's like this. They tried to portray it to be something it wasn't because
y'all
they
had
didn't
that
understand
AAU
it.
style, dog.
Yeah, they. But here's the thing, though. We had principles, bro. We had rules, like literally, like for example, one rule which is great. I do this with every team that I coach. I do this, like not every team, but I went away from it a little bit. But bro, we had a rule to where if you wasn't Damian Argret and you get an offensive rebound, you kicking that bitch out for a shot. That's the best time to get wide open threes.
But statistics show that second chance open shots are more high converting.
Bro, so that was a rule. We had that rule then. Dave was so forward. Dave was so forward. Dave was forward thinking, man. We had rules, but it just looked chaotic to the public. I mean, to naked eye, I guess, but it was fun to watch. Yeah. Playing fast, getting steals, throwing lobs, shooting threes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
bro. That was unorthodox at the time,
yes,
man.
Yes. We had a good culture there. Our students, our fans, like the gym was packed. The community showed up for us. But that was all because of Dave too, though. Like Dave had us going to Richfield Elementary every Monday. Every Monday, we're going to read to the kids.
Man, that's dope. Bro.
Every Monday. So like stuff like that, just really ingraining us into the community. Right, and then you got to go to practice, and then it's like,
listen, I remember Dan took me up there for a workout, big dog.
Yeah,
and I'm more of a heavy set guard. You know what I'm saying? I can keep, but bro, that's the first time I was like, "No, hold the fuck up." Now I'm tired,
bro.
Listen, I stole y'all pickup. Listen, I stole y'all pickup. I do that for my kids.
That's how you got to
show that damn point does not count unless everybody's across half court, and you better fucking press. We only going to 3. I want you to die.
That's right.
And then to end the game, your ass better hit that free throw.
Got to make the free throw. You got to verify.
But listen, I stole all that shit because that busted my ass, and I was like, hold on now. If these kids, my thing is this. Even with training, I'm big on the training that it fatigues you.
Yes.
Because if you can think while you tired, you are ahead of 90% of the players that play, big dog.
Yeah.
And if trainers are not doing that, I feel like they doing kids disservice, big dog.
Yeah.
Like I wholeheartedly believe that. Now after you build that foundation, then we can work on that craft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But bro, if you ain't got the wind to do it, bro, you might as well hang that shit up when you start competing, bro.
Well, one thing when it comes to training too, what I'll say is this: you have to have a period of time that you can track. Did it work? You like we have to start there. There's too much just, let me go train. Let me go get a workout, right?
Yep.
As opposed to like, all right, we're gonna do this for 3 months. And we're gonna do X and let's see if we get Y, right? And if we do, that means okay, the training working. Let's try to now start to build, But I think right now today, because of again, you got the transfer portal, you got a lot of stuff to where people will say jumping around or whatever, but
running from accountability, in my damn opinion, a lot of time. More times than not, you running from somebody on your ass.
Right.
Like that's in my opinion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's deep. All right, so let me ask you this though, based off what you just said, the trainer. How would you build toughness in the kid that don't have it, but they're very skilled? What type of plan would you set for them as far as, okay, cool, this is where you at, this is where you want to be in this 3-month process? What type of regimen would you put them on, just off the top of your head?
Yeah, so, well, if we're talking to a family at that level, we wouldn't be talking about 3 months, right?
Okay.
We would be talking about, depending on, for example, if you're an 8th grade kid, which is class of 2029, right? We would be talking about a 5-year plan, right? We would be talking about what that 8th grade year looks like, what that freshman year looks like, sophomore, junior, senior, and setting goals, right? And then implementing a plan to execute, right? And that's the process, So that's what I would be talking about when it comes to someone we're sitting down with, If it's someone who we just, they're trying to figure it out, they just want some advice and we're trying to get to know each other. Yeah, I think you start with creating easy wins, right? To where you create a short-term plan that has a high probability of we can achieve this, right?
Bet.
And you create easy wins the same way like culture building within any program, right? Like you have to build that. So I think it's with the training, it comes down to first, I think I'll go to this, right? From my lens, it doesn't matter who your trainer is to me per se.
Okay.
Right? Like,
ooh, now look, I'm on the fence about that.
But this is what I mean, though. This is what I mean by that. I'm gonna elaborate on that because at my level and what I'm doing, I'm trying to educate you on the business.
Okay.
And usually a lot of that stuff is personal, right? Or
Okay.
this was the person that known me since I was a baby, or this person started me. And at the end of the day, I think to me, true development needs to be aligned around everyone who has influence with that kid being and working on the same information. Really working as a team.
A healthy ecosystem around.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha.
And typically within this space, because there's so much money and just power and whatever you want to call it, like it creates where everyone has an agenda.
Yeah.
You know, and I think most times the people don't want to talk about it. You know, my thing is like, I'm at a point now where, hey, let's talk about the money. Let's talk about exactly how it's going to roll, how much. Let's talk about it.
We need to face that shit straight up, straight front, so we know where to go,
You
bro.
have to.
Yeah, bro,
You have
because
to.
I hate people that talk around shit that needs to be addressed so we can figure out how we can move forward, big dog. Like, and a lot of times, bro, how you can come off, like not just you, but anybody in general. Yeah, bro, they might feel some type of way about it.
100%.
Yeah, they might feel some type of way about it, bro.
This is why I try to now just work through the relationships you trust the most, right? Like I want to be a trusted source. That's what my goal is to be, right?
It feels good to be that, though.
Yes,
bro.
like just being a trusted source to where, like, you don't have to wonder and guess. Typically, with me, and because I'm in grassroots, right? I think
that's the most important area.
100%.
Right now,
that's where the foundation's laid,
I agree,
right?
bro.
That's where who they will be, that is laid in. You know, and I think through that, it's just it's important of like explaining to families, like, hey, it's not about replacing or removing people, right? The business of sports and entertainment, not gonna lie,
it's a business, bro.
But there are like people that are professionals that will want to remove certain people out the way if they feel you're in the way, you know? And to me, I think around athletes and families, I feel like they should be empowered to lead and call their own shots, right? And I think those like, just because of the money and the opportunity, sometimes families don't typically get all the information to make the best decisions, you know? So
tough question. How do you navigate, say, for example, let's just hypothetical.
Right.
You got a kid.
Right.
You know he's good.
Right.
You know you can market the hell out of him.
Right.
Okay. You know you can get him paid. But his daddy's in the way. How do you have that real conversation? How do you really address that, bro?
I think being real about it, I think if the kid is good and there's...
Do you just tell him you're in the way?
No. So I think I disagree with that. I think you have to go at the pace. And what I'm advising families is, because like professionals, like myself, what I will talk about will want to speed you up. You know, and for me, it's around me understanding this more now, going through what I've been through. Like, I now understand, and I understood it then. This is why Rob and I and the family, this is why the relationships are still solid, is because I didn't try to go faster than the pace of them. You know what I'm saying?
You got to meet them where they at, dog.
Yeah, and so
bro.
with Rob, like, I mean, Rob's been, man, that kid's beyond his years. Like, just the way he got an old soul. He's just, I mean, again, his family did great raising and instilling these values and principles in him, you know, and he knows who he is, you know. He knows who he wants to be, and, you know, it's been one of those things since he was young. He's always known, but because, like, adults will try to, you know, and this is what it is. Coaches, adults, like, they will want you to believe what they believe.
Bro, and that's why I'm so big on keeping my hands on my child now until I learn how to navigate the space so I know the right people to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And parents, it's okay to say you don't fucking know.
Facts.
Like, I'm telling you.
Yes.
I don't know. Sometimes it's the strongest 3 words that you can say.
Right.
Because if you tapped in, bro, like, you'll get the guidance you need. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, bro.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I believe in like energy, right? I feel like when you're talking about stuff that is at a real level, you're gonna feel certain energies from that said individual, and you just have to trust that. You know, you have to trust that, man. Whatever that is, sometimes it be good or bad.
Right,
you know?
right.
You just have to trust that, and I think when it comes down to now, I think we live in an informational world. I think, you know, it's truly a matter of
overload information too, bro.
And that's where again, sometimes you can get to the point to where too much information, I don't know if it's the best, right? And I think sometimes in this process, like even the high school kids, like, bro, there's not a lot of money in NIL for high school kids.
But you talking about public high school or just high school period?
In general.
Bet.
Right?
Okay,
like, you have to be, like,
so that
AJ,
narrative,
like, you have to be,
I got you.
like, you know, Baba, you know, he's number one kid at 27. Like, you have to be, like, the guy, you know what I mean, to be in that conversation around any type of, like, significant money. Right, like let's just say 6 figures.
Yep.
You know, when it comes to NIL.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I think if you're a middle school or high school athlete, your focus should be around building your social media following and starting to curate like who you are on your page, right?
Gotcha.
Using the main thing, highlights. Basketball, right? Showing some lifestyle stuff, showing some family stuff, showing that balance, right? Like that's where that's where high school athletes should focus, and then growing your following. When you get to college is when these athletes will see their first real piece of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you get to college. So it's not understanding that. So within that, say 5-year plan, 4, 3, 2, whatever that plan is, within that, we're discussing that, right? We're talking about it. So, because even if you look at Rob's situation, like it was a lot of noise around us, but internally it never was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. And it was because like there was always a sense of we knew what was in front of us and we knew there would be adversity. Right? And
yeah, but adversity builds character, bro.
100%.
Like, yeah, bro. So you like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Welcome this shit, bro, because that's how you grow, dog. Like I don't. That kills me. People run from that shit. Like, bro, you like that. That builds real character, big dog. Like I don't care. So check us out. Now back to what you were saying as far as strong media presence. Now, somebody I'm involved with and I see every day, and I think what you explained does a hell of a job at media and social. Eli Ellis.
Right.
He does a great job with that social media, dog.
Amazing.
He creates controversy, whether it's, I ain't gonna say negative controversy. Let's just say you need people to agree with you and disagree in order to make it go viral. He does a great job, or they do a great job at creating that atmosphere, dog.
Right.
Like that is, from what I see, the inside looking in.
Right.
That social media side of, but they got that shit down packed, dog.
Yeah, I mean, Ellis has been doing it for a minute, man. He's been doing this for a minute, you know. Eli and Isaac been tough since they were young.
And
like I'm
dogs,
talking about, bro. Like that's what, like that's where it started from for them, right? They really in the gym. They really putting that work in.
Bro, they are,
that's where it starts at. And then, you know, as it's evolved with the social media times, Ellis is forward thinking. He is. You know, he saw
he talks a lot about you though, bro. You know what I mean? He says you smart as hell, bro. Like,
we people don't understand this. Ellis and I have a really good relationship. We've been, again, back to the scheduling the Moravian vertical game. That was me and Ellis talking. Relationship. You know, so even watching all of it, we've always just had the dialogue open. You know what I mean? To where he's forward thinking, but the boys, they're authentic. That is really them.
That's them, bro.
That's not an act.
That edginess, that's them, bro.
100% them.
I agree with you 100%,
you know what I mean?
bro.
So that's where for me it's fun to see. You know what I mean? It's good to see. I think.
But it's dope that you know the backstory.
Yes,
like you seen it rise and where it's at now.
I've drove down to work out there.
Yeah,
that's
where my son trains.
Yes, like
three, 4 days a week.
People don't get it, bro. Like we are really in the gym. Really?
Bro, bro, that's keeping the main thing.
Yes.
Like that's still the old school principles. Like, bro, work out.
Yes,
Be
man.
pushed, bro. It's okay, dog.
Yes.
Because through that is how you're gonna create these opportunities. And I think now you can be rewarded for the hard work now at an earlier age based on the social media side of it, business side of it.
So the flip side of it is the false reality that social media can give the athlete that may have a pop in social media. But the game ain't adding up. You know what I mean? So it creates this false reality that, you may be making some money, right? But that's where, when it goes back to that main thing, basketball, you gotta be fucking good. You have to be good. That's just what it is. Like if you want to make money, be good.
Yep.
Like, produce. Right? And then at least, okay, let's have a conversation. But if you're not good for real, and that's where this false reality of highlights can create.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it puts targets on kids too, to where some of these kids ain't ready for that target, what's coming at you.
Well, bro, listen.
Because like Eli Isaac, they built for that shit.
Now see, that's what I was going to go at. Me and Ellis literally had a conversation about some kids cannot handle that
Facts.
shit.
No.
They can't handle it.
It's too much, bro.
It's too much for them.
Much.
They can't perform. They
literally shut down. Like, literally, you can see it.
Yep.
You can see the shutdown.
And see, this is the cons of it.
Yes.
Like, this the side I think people need to hear, bro, because, boy.
But this is why mental health, this is where that comes into play for real.
And you know who you are a little bit, bro.
Bro, you have to start, one thing that I try to, one of the foundational things with families that we talk about right away is, who's your circle of trust? Right? Who is that? Who's your team? Right? Because when you talk about winning, that means you got to have a team. These athletes need to know who their team is off the field of court. Right? So that circle of trust and paying attention to, just pay attention to your people. Right? Because, bro, the actions and signs will show you we're not okay.
Yep.
But us as men, I could be having the worst day. You guys, how you doing? Bro, I'm good. It's amazing.
I'm good.
Bro,
I'm
the
straight.
house on fire, though.
It's burning down. Bankrupt, everything. I'm good, man.
Yeah,
You ain't dealing right, bro. You need somebody to talk to.
But that's where I think with social media, I think that's where I do feel like mental health is a huge topic that should continue to be in the forefront of conversations. Because it is some pressures around being in the sports and entertainment, being an athlete in general.
Yep.
Right? And that pressure, it's like in grassroots, we've created there's a world to where you could just pay to play and kids don't get cut no more. So that's where that's a part of this, what we're talking about too, right? So for me, when you talk about CPI and you talk about development, we cutting kids. But we're going to give you a solution and a pathway to be better also.
Correct.
That's the key.
Correct.
Right? But trying to shift the focus of how we think about this, because we have went away from just what the principles we grew up on.
Bro. Old school.
Like what? Like, bro, if we losing and you not doing something you're supposed to do, I guarantee you, me and you gonna have a real thing in the locker room and we'll come out and the world be cool, but we gonna figure this out in the locker room.
What the fuck you doing?
Come on, bro.
Bro. Come on, bro.
Tighten up, right?
Yeah, bro.
We not doing that.
No,
bro, I want to win.
See, but that's that comes back to what you said. Nowadays in AAU, bro, it's pay to play. When we came up, bro, think about this shit, bro. You had to be top 2 teams in pool play to go to the AAU state.
That's it, and that's where it meant a little bit more from just having to be the better team.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And now I think this is where, again, back to the education of this, G. When you talk about NIL and you talk about grassroots, right, literally educating the families and the athletes on how to utilize these platforms. They're meant to be utilized.
Yep.
How should you utilize them? So it goes back to first shifting the mindset to where, bro, I'm not selling no more. I'm buying. I'm deciding if I want to buy this thing you're trying to tell me that's good for me. You understand? Like, so just shifting the mindset to that is a huge key into being able to start to try to navigate the business of the athlete and the people like myself that will come and be able to present amazing opportunities.
Yep.
You know?
So question, you raised your boy.
Yep.
Okay. 9th grade, one of the top point guards in the country. What development did you start him out with?
Yeah. So that's a great question, man. I literally started training him.
And I'm asking because I got the same scenario. I trained my kid for 2 years, gave him the foundation before I handed him off to somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I don't know if that's the right thing to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm figuring it out as I go. So how'd you do it with yours? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, so I started with just the development of where we really trained. Like, we really was intentional about every day after school, homework, 45 minutes, YMCA. Every day. Then
what was you working on, though, at that age?
Triple threat, inside foot, turning the triple threat, shot fakes, how to shot fake, right? Basic crossovers, basic stuff. Like, literally started with teaching layups with 1 step, right? Then progressed to 2 steps, right, left. Then progressed to taking a dribble.
All the boring shit.
And then progressed to trying to get to the layup with 1 dribble from the 3-point line. Like, literally progressed it, you know what I mean? And so, you know, it was always about development. And then I had always understood, I don't know how my mind thinks like this, I really don't, but I always understood kids will outgrow me if I am who I say I am when it comes to development.
Elaborate more on that, big dog.
So,
I don't think people understand what you said. Elaborate more on that, dog.
Yeah, so for example, because I started training my son, I understood right away my son's gonna need more than just me.
Even though you could hoop.
Yes.
Even though you know the game.
Yes.
Even though.
He's gonna need more than just me, because no matter what, regardless, we wear multiple hats. So on the basketball court, I'm coach, right? Off the court, I'm dad. But people try to separate it, bro. But this is no way. It is what it is.
I try my best, bro. Like, I do. I'm better at it some days than I'm not, bro. Like, shit, I carry a loss harder than he do.
Yes.
At that grassroots age, bro.
Yes.
I carry it. Man, I go home, bro.
You watching the film,
bro? I'm down, dog. You hear me? My son talking about, Dad, let's play 2K. I'm like, hell no, dog. I ain't touching. I don't want to hear no basketball right now. Dog. I'm sick. And I lost the national championship, man, with my little 9U team last year.
Yes.
I was hurt. I had to take a walk around the whole thing, bro. The whole damn complex. My kids are ready to get their rings, ready to go to the beach. I'm like, oh, man, I care too damn much, dog. Hold on, bro. Wow, I'm hurt, dog.
But this is where my mentorship now comes into play, right?
Yep.
Because now seeing Rob's process, like literally from middle school to NBA, having a son who he's my son, and I've been here the whole time seeing this and seeing where he's trying to go. Like, it really does, again, back to understanding he's going to need more than just me, right? I'm going to always be dad. So for me, I now understand that what role I'm going to have to play. So I'm going to play a certain role within the business. But I'm always be dad, though. I'm always be number one hater. I'm always have something to say.
You
every
need to be
time.
though, yeah. I don't think that ever needs to leave. Like, if
it won't. And even like, bro, right now with Rob, even like his mom and dad the same way they have been with him. Like, he's in the NBA.
I know Donald don't be playing, do it.
No, bro. Like, but that's like Robert tough as hell, bro, because of his dad and his mom. 100%. You know, and they held him accountable. You know, I think they Yeah, I think he is, like, bro, it's all about family for that family. You know what I mean? And I think with Donald told me this story. Like, I heard the story 100 times, man. Chris Washburn, right? Just that story, like, but it's a real story.
I've seen him, bro. He lives.
Bro, it's a real story, you know? And I heard that story so many times, I can't right now, I could almost repeat it, you know? But the fear as a parent of the reality of what you saw happening to yours is a real thing, you know? And I think that's what us as parents all want to avoid. We all want our kids to be better than what we had.
Correct.
Right? And I think the fear of what we saw in the people like a Chris Washburn, right, just like not becoming that, you know? I feel like, honestly, man, ever since I met Donald Robert, I just feel like it's been something around that family that's just a glow. You know what I mean? So it's been interesting, but tough as hell.
Yeah.
Because of Donald.
Yeah. So okay, so JJ, so
Yep.
you dealing with them with a young, you know when to pass them off.
Yes.
You know, okay, cool.
Well, this is what I would say.
Okay,
I wouldn't say pass them off.
Okay, talk to me.
I would say elevate and grow, because that's what we're doing. And our mindset is whenever there's change, it's almost like a negative thing if things are growing.
Yep.
Right? But this is where, again, to the public, it's subjective. But
Yep.
internally, there's like, you're making real life decisions for a career or business or going to college. Like, these are real life decisions, you know? So you have to just, again, you have to, I think, just get the right advice, right? Who you trust, who you trust. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that's pivotal though, dog. But that's reason for this platform.
Right.
Because, bro, me just having these conversations, it helps me navigate what's going on. Like it literally helps me navigate. Like I know a parent would love to sit down and have this conversation with you. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what this for. Like for them to see what's going on, man. So I think stuff like that's pivotal, bro, and you just keep dropping that awareness and knowledge on these parents. So
super key.
Yeah, bro. So they'll have a compass to go by.
Because parents have to be a certain way too. Like literally, like I go to high school games now, and I literally am intentional about where I sit, right? Like I like sitting amongst the parents behind the team's bench, seeing the interactions, right? And it's interesting, man. You just so passionate about it, and sometimes when you within that passion, you're unaware of who's watching, you know? And this is where I think just understanding that, you know, we all live in a bubble to where, you know, it's always a camera rolling. It's always somebody looking for controversy or something to...
Looking for something to talk about.
Yes, you know what I mean? And I think we actually give it to people to do it, you know? So it's almost like, just from a parent standpoint, just, you know, certain things off of like, hey, what should I be thinking about around my son when this starts to happen?
Correct.
How should I handle this, right? And then that leads to another question of like, well, what do you want to do? Most of the times, the parents don't be knowing what they want, right?
They might have an idea, but the framework, they have no clue.
Yes, and that's where I try to help, like, to where, okay, we do have a infrastructure or a framework of like the components you need, right? Like for Rob, for example, Rob has his agent, right, which is Clutch Sports, right? Rich Paul, Calvin Andrews, and Lucas Newton, right? Those are his agents. Rob has his wealth advisor, right? Morgan Stanley.
That's dope.
Right?
That's dope.
And that's completely separated, right? They
Which
don't.
It should be, though.
Yeah, and then he has his accounting team that, like, every penny that goes in and coming out, they handling that for him. So he has legal, he has his own lawyer, right? So he has a team around him, but that infrastructure, that wheel, that ecosystem, right? And it's all around empowering him to where nothing moves without him, you know? He's calling all the shots, and I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not in it like that, you know, but I'm aware of introducing those relationships.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
And just those components, you know, and within the sports and entertainment business, those components can change, right? Agents and like people change people all the time. Mm-hmm. Athletes getting traded. Look what just happened. you know?
Yes, man, bro. But it's part of the business.
It's
though,
a
bro.
business.
This
is where it's literally a business, and it's not personal, right? But it's personal to the fan, right? And I think it's personal to the athlete when you're in that said market.
Yep.
You know? Yeah.
That's good. So, all right. So, let's go to this. I want to know personally, bro, the Donda Academy scenario.
Right.
I know when I read, I think at the bio on the Air Sports Management, that you was responsible in the hand of building Donda Academy. What role did you play as far as building that? How involved was you with that scenario?
Yeah, so that was an interesting time, man. You know, Rob, they recruited Rob through Instagram. That's how it happened.
So Instagram's really a resume now.
Man, what?
Yeah,
that's
bro.
where it
it's really
is.
A resume,
It's like it's a business, you know. So they went. Rob and Denzel went to visit it, and you know, he ended up ultimately deciding to go. And my role within it was at the time. I mean, again, he was so young. Like it was around protecting his eligibility. That's all I was thinking about. Like when it comes to, okay, this is going to be a big change. It's obviously going to be national news, right? Robert was already a pretty big name over here to where everybody knew him, but I wouldn't say it was national at that point in time, you know? Although Combine was ranked, you know what I mean? Combine had Rob, they made a splash. Jeff McGinnis, like them boys, he had them boys cooking.
Yep.
You know,
I like Jeff McGinnis' coaching style.
Bro, what? It's real.
Yeah.
That's what kids need. It's authentic. Like what?
Bro.
And kids respond to that.
Bro. But you see my son imitate me.
Yeah.
I be on him like that, bro.
Yeah.
But after the fact, he's fine. But if they can imitate you, they're fine, right? You know what I'm saying? But that whole hold you accountable, get on you about, I'm talking about the details, bro, because that's how we learn how to play. Like, let's be real. How often did we work out when I was young? Man, bro, we played. That's all we did.
Yes.
And we had coaches that was, listen, that era couldn't survive this era. How we got to be held accountable.
Right? They be telling it. They be telling it.
Bro. But the whole scenario, the concept of that, bro, is just, I like Jeff's style. Like Jeff was big on, hey, this is what it is, this is what it ain't.
Jeff, huge influence in Robert's development. You know, Jeff is a veteran NBA player. like Jeff did it at a high level. Carolina, like he did it at a high level. And Jeff was responsible at that time. That's when the pro-am was lit. Like that's when the pro-am was super lit. And my guy, shout out my guy Zoe. Zoe doing a good job bringing the Queen City pro-am back. So that's been a vibe lately. But Jeff and his style, bro, that's what I think kids respond to that. At least the great kids. Kids run from it that don't, like, you know what I mean? But that means that when you go somewhere else, you're going to go through some hard shit. Hard shit is hard. There ain't no way you guys go through it.
Bro, listen, like I say, bro, like welcome to shit, dog, because I think that narrative needs to somehow change. Like as far as I don't know how this generation got like that. Now, however, the generation got like that is a little bit our generation's fault. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like we do play a responsibility. I mean, we do 100%. Have a responsibility in that. Yes. We sure do, but I just think those old school, I keep saying old school values, but accountability are timeless values, bro.
Right.
Like, and if those things are not installed by a coach or a program or a culture,
or by parents, Right? That's where I think it starts.
I'm trying to save
it starts
y'all
at home. But we have to have
I'm
the
trying
dialogue.
to save y'all because
right?
I know some of my episodes I be killing y'all, but I'm trying to save y'all. But I ain't the only one saying it.
Yeah.
I ain't the only one saying it though. It's tough, man. Like
But to answer your question about the Donda situation, like just protecting Rob's eligibility was priority. Some of the things I did was just as basic as what was the academic structure that they were utilizing, and so making sure that was NCAA certified.
Gotcha.
Right, making sure that whatever that was, Robert could attend college, and he wanted to go to college, and he wanted to go to the NBA. That was his dream. So when he was at that point in time, it was around just protecting that, making sure that was solid. To the world, it was like Rob just became rich or something. And yeah, Rob, there was no NIL, no money exchange, none of that, bro. We ran a ultra clean campaign internally, although outwardly it got a bit crazy. But I think for the most part, the Donda situation was just simple as that. And then it being Kanye, obviously, bro, like, you know, it was like, you know, he's a famous, you know, mogul superstar, and, you know, just entertainer, and him doing basketball, that was a big debate, right? I got homeboys who, bro, I caught a lot of heat behind that. Like my basketball homeboys, right? Who, you know, my basketball guys who like, man, he don't do basketball, and, you know, and just all of that good stuff. And in my mind, it was around, I was thinking about obviously just the big picture of like how the celebrity of Kanye would be good for what he's trying to do if it worked.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You know, and thankfully, like, it worked out for Rob, and like now, right, it's working out for him. And
but the controversy around it still gave him marketing, though.
But that's where that right there is where I was just like, hey, listen, it was controversial a bit, but people were talking about it, and the way Robert and his family handled it, I think, kept it to where you if you know, you know. Mm-hmm. And then everybody else just, you know, kind of creating
opinions, creating narratives, which, you know, me outside looking in, hell, I didn't even know enough to have an opinion. I didn't know what was going on, but you hear stories, you hear stuff what's going on, bro. And then when Kanye got into that whole with those comments, right? You feel what I'm saying? It kind of spiraled things. So when things spiral, how did y'all get the phone call that, hey, listen, Donda Academy's no more? Like,
well, for me, you got to think, bro. You know, for me, I've always been, again, forward thinking to where I don't operate well in a reactionary state, right? To where you do something, now I react to it. And with the pathway and the pros and cons with Donda, if there were to be something that happened like it did, what would be the options, right?
What's the alternatives?
Yeah. So we understood that already. You know, Rob obviously has been a Nike kid his entire grassroots time, and, you know, going to a Nike school like Montverde, Montverde, or, you know, Link Academy, you know, going to a Nike school would be options. But then OTE was here and was fairly new. And so there was no call, though, to the point, right, to where it was like, because of the situation with Donda, like when we first landed, you know, they didn't even have a complete roster at the time when Robert landed in L.A. You know, Rob pretty much recruited the rest of the roster. Like, yeah, he did that. And that kid, bro, he's something, bro. He recruited the rest of the roster. And because of my skill set and me coming from hosting events, running the program, understanding the business side of this a little bit, I I knew how to help them create their schedule, right? Obviously, because of Kanye's celebrity, I knew that they could leverage that to get events and platforms to give them a budget to be able to operate their school season, right? So just those little nuances like that, those nuggets. I think that's where, even right now, a part of my skill set and how I'm able to execute and operate, this school with CPI in year one and make sure it's running efficiently because of that experience then. But let's go back before the Donda situation, Vertical Academy.
Yep.
Right? Mikey Williams. Like when Mikey first moved from California to North Carolina, I actually was trying to encourage him, hey, start your own school now, right? But it was too unknown. Like, what? That was, bro, you crazy. Get out of here.
Right,
like,
right.
what?
It's not,
Bro,
it's not familiar to people. So anything it ain't familiar, they resent it at first. Push back.
It was no resentment. It was more just, it was unknown.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
It was not enough information or time to be able to, like, bro, you crazy. Like, what? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's where Lake Norman Christian came into play. But then in year 2, it was Vertical Academy, right? And that was essentially the same as like a Donda. The difference is, Donda, Kanye celebrity, obviously, right? Was the difference, but essentially the same. And it created this atmosphere of this almost like AAU style into the scholastic space, or prep school space, right? And I think it's still evolving right now today. Like I think Nike's doing the best job of grassroots from a standpoint of, if you look at their platform and the way it's structured, it's vertically integrated, but it's so competitive within. And it produces high-level performing athletes in the NBA, right? So I think now because of NIL, almost you look at the college space as where like you view that as like when they almost like the NBA. You know what I mean? But in the sense of the business, because you got kids going to college and make millions of dollars for 1 year. So that's where it just gets. But yeah, so to answer a question about the Donda, just helping them create that schedule, create the budget.
Right.
What tournaments to be in. Donda came and played in Charlotte.
Yep.
They played at where was that at over there? The Carol Hoffner Center.
Was that when y'all played Chase, Dylan, and them at the time?
Yes.
Man, I remember Dylan showed me that film, boy. Whoo, that was tough.
Yeah. So, but that game was crazy. Like it was packed. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I would say, I didn't, and I didn't get paid for any of that. You know what I mean? Like literally my motivation was Rob, like making sure he could have the best experience possible. And I stayed out the way, you know what I mean? Like you had to know me or someone close to us to kind of like know me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you don't see me like
out and about.
You just don't. You know what I mean?
You move a little different, man.
Yeah.
Like you move different, man. But I think that movement keeps a mystique around you, though, that I feel like it does make people interested. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It started, honestly, you say interest, I say hate, love, I say a plethora of things to where...
Interest just sums it all up.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does.
yeah,
but like to me, within that, it's really around the dialogue, right? And I'm open. Like I'm open to talk about like whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be honest about it. And when you real about stuff, like it's easy to just have the conversation, right?
Hold on one sec. Yeah. Hey, can we check that sound, man? Like, them boys are like we're in the club or something in here, big dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's another.
Yeah. So they got other ones around here. You know what I'm saying? Just just music in the background, but the bass is tough though. It's tough. But yeah, so for me, all right, so now let's pivot to after the Vertical Donda. All right. The whole idea behind Vertical and Donda, okay, cool. You protected Rob, okay? You protected his eligibility. You was there to navigate that side of it, okay? Now you navigate it, you look at it, He's getting recruited now. Like, well, he's been getting recruited. But the decision to go to Kentucky with Cal, how did that curate? Because I know he decommitted from NC State. Why was Kentucky a spot for him where he could have went somewhere else and got all the shots he wanted and developed? Were y'all trying to create a narrative around him as far as being a guy that can do pass, score, do it all?
Yeah, so it just goes back to Rob understanding what he wanted and where he was trying to go.
Bet.
And Kentucky has a proven history of producing NBA guards.
Those type of guards, too.
Yes. Malik Monk. Rob and Malik got a really close relationship.
Dope.
They've had that since Rob was young because of me having the gym here in Charlotte over at Mountain Island Fitness, me having a relationship with James Borrego, whose son played for me. So the Horn Malik, like Miles, Devontae, the twins, like all of these guys were in the gym training. Like they come to the gym like to get their work in, and they will play pickup. So, it's just establishing those relationships early. But back to the point, he knew what he wanted. Kentucky produces NBA guards, right? His goal was to be a one and done. Kentucky gave him a better chance of that than NC State. Now the decision-making process within that, bro, there was so much stuff going on at the time. Rob and I wasn't talking about that. That was stuff he was navigating with his family. You know what I mean? What the decision.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, he always informed me, like, hey, bro, this is what I'm thinking, what you think? You know what I mean? And I may have my opinion, and my opinion is always supportive of, since he was young, I've always said these things to him, like, you the boss. This your shit. You run this shit. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody gonna make you feel no way about what you finna get and what's for you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was always like really giving him. So anything he wanted, like, it's almost like I'm gonna support it to help him become it or get it. You know what I mean? And part of that, like, even as a parent, I definitely Rob's mom and I talk about this to where I understand this as a parent too. That is hard for a parent that somebody else has that level of trust with your child. That shit is hard. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, Leah and I have real conversations, bro. She's smart, right? She's so intelligent, and like we have had hard conversations, but it's been around us wanting, and she knows I want what's best for Rob, and I think when you know that, that's where it made it manageable to deal with it because there was a level of trust and care from the relationship.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
Dope, man. That's what's up, man. I just think you're more the genuineness and the honesty.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, it builds trust, bro.
100%.
I don't have to agree with you in order to trust you.
Right.
But I know you're gonna be honest with me.
And we're gonna disagree.
And
like a lot probably in this space because it's gonna be around now. I don't think you need to be shooting threes, bro. You're gonna feel like, hey, I can shoot threes. Yeah. No.
Right, bro. Let's focus on this aspect.
But this is where that's what it's about, the dialogue, right? Not getting butthurt whenever something don't go our way.
Correct.
No pointing fingers or blaming someone.
Correct.
Right? We just finding solutions, right? Yep. Like just fixing it. Yep. You know what I mean?
Bet. So look, man, let's pivot to this, bro. Let's talk about your past. Okay. I don't really know the whole scenario, but I'll let you elaborate on it because I'll let you control your narrative with that. So let's address your past, what happened, and then how did that make you better for this business and whoever you're dealing with moving forward? Yeah.
So again, graduate from college, going to play pro, being a professional athlete in Europe was a dope experience, right? The recession hitting me.
What year was this? Around what year?
Around like 2009 when it hit, right? So around like, my offers from what I was making went back to what I was making almost coming out in year one, right? So I didn't have someone saying like, bruh, you better go get like that 40,000, whatever it was at the time, and playing basketball, you know what I mean? In a different country where you ain't got no bills, no nothing, you know? So I didn't have someone pushing that, you know, my ego and pride. I was like making close to 6 figures. I was like, yeah, you couldn't, like, I was like, bro, there's no way I'm finna go back to doing this. And I have my college degree. I literally went on one job interview, literally. And so I just, you know, being an athlete your whole life, man, it's just,
Bro,
I didn't have that plan for what am I gonna do when this shit stop.
Yep.
So I did what I come from and the environment I grew up in. I always grew up around hustlers. I know how to hustle. I have a charisma about myself of where like if I'm on something, like I'm a salesman essentially, you know what I mean? And so I went to selling marijuana. That was easy for me. You know, I grew up around it and
I resonate with it, bro, because I had the same scenario.
Yeah, so that was the deal, and you know, for me, like, you know, again, that mindset of like, bro, like the greatness of that competitive mindset. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it
all the way, dog.
So I didn't halfway go, and for me, unfortunately. Yeah, just like, you know, if you're doing stuff with people who everybody say they real and they this and that, until it's time to do real things, right? And the real shit happens. And so, you know, some real shit happened to where, you know, people got caught and, you know, they chose to cooperate, right? I think when things rolled my way, I'm born and raised in the city of Charlotte, you know. I grew up in Brook Hill. We take a lot of pride on, like, just you got to stand on what you do, right? You're going to stand on what you do. What you do ain't my business, you know? So I was raised on that. And so I couldn't try to get myself out of a jam to go cooperate and do something, you know what I mean? Tell on other people, you know what I mean? So I accepted responsibility. You know, and, you know, I told myself, it's funny, bro, I was so calculated even before I started that, honestly.
Well, you had to be, bro, because I'm going to tell you, like, you know, Bax, like, you know, he coached me at the time. So I had a sense. Like, I knew what was going on. I did, bro. But, you know, it ain't none of my business to elaborate your business. That's why I'm letting you tell your narrative, your story. You feel what I'm saying? But but it goes back to this, bro. The hustling side of it, it doesn't have to be a drug dealer. You feel what I'm saying?
No, everybody hustling.
Yeah,
I think the Fortune 500, you know, CEO, he's hustling.
Yeah,
she's hustling.
Yeah, but it didn't have to be that. It could have been a car.
100%.
It could have been a clothing brand.
100%.
It could have been a school.
Well, you look at it now, like this, how I look at it, honestly, like marijuana's legal in, I don't know exactly how many states.
Federally, yeah, but
you know,
but it's you're good. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's almost like in my mind at that time, bro, in 08, 09, this is my thought process, no bullshit. I was like, okay, I'm a college grad. I'm a professional athlete. I ain't never been in no trouble. If I get caught with weed, the most I was gonna get is 5 years. So the question was, can I do 5 years? And at the time, my circumstances, I was like, fuck it. I was like, bro, listen. At that time, bro, listen. I'm about to,
he doesn't calculate. Can I do it? I'm thinking he's gonna say, yeah. He talking about, so fuck it, I can do it.
Right in my mind, literally, that's what I thought. And listen, I never thought that shit would become a reality, though. Right? Like, and by the way, I didn't get caught. Like, I got, like, you know what I mean? So it's a difference, you know what I mean?
Bro, you was moving, bro. Like, I'm gonna keep it one. You was moving, dog. Like, I remember, well, you was courtside at NBA games, dog.
But at the time, it's like, you know, when all of that stuff happened, like that, like, to your point, how does that help me now? Right? Like, honestly, to be able to sit in front of a parent and tell my authentic story.
Resonates,
right?
bro. It resonates, bro.
And you feel my energy, bro. Like this, like it is what it is.
Yes,
you feel this, right? So, like, pause. You know,
yeah.
Like my homeboys in the group chat would have been like, "Yo,
listen,
that
man,
was wild."
Them kids be like, "Man, come on, man, that's sus, Dad."
Hey, listen, I can hear my homeboys right now.
Listen,
like,
man, they ain't my kid. They kill me with that. I be like, "Look, bro, we ain't grow up on that, bro."
I be having to say, exactly. I did not have to say pause every.
No, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this gym, bro, they kill me. I tell man, man, shut up, bro. Like I ain't trying to hear that, dog. Like I'm over that, dog.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yes. So, but to sit down and tell that story,
yeah,
right, and it's not something I'm proud of, honestly, bro. But I'm not ashamed either.
Yeah, bro.
You see what I'm saying? Like I feel good telling this story to a kid and a family because I think in the sports and entertainment business, you have to be so buttoned up to where like you get this picture perfect thing, and it's just not that.
I don't trust people like that.
It's just not that, right? The truth, the reality is the shit is nasty. It's dirty, right? And it's like you have to have high character people and you have to be a high character person.
I agree, bro.
Right?
I agree.
Because if you have this level of influence and you're not a good person, you're going to use the gifts for bad.
Correct.
And I think that's where I'm going to continue to fight the fight of like, bro, people could say whatever, but look at the body of work, G. Like before Rob, starting the program, the training, just the entrepreneur, the hustle, you know? And now that I've learned, and I'm still learning so much, right? Like being blessed to be mentored by Rich Paul and Calvin Andrews and Lucas Newton, and just being able to, form a partnership with Clutch Sports Group like that. Those things are, like, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I ain't ever really had time to think about it for real. Like, I ain't even gonna cap. Like, it's so much.
You don't understand, like, that story, bro, is crazy. For that to go down, you come out. How long did you sit down?
So I got 3 years. I did 26 months on the 36 months, right?
Yep.
So yeah, even then, like, I came home in better shape than when I was playing pro basketball.
You had nothing but time.
Yeah, and I like my mind was like, bro, I was
Was you reading in there?
What, bro? Like I had, but listen, I was reading. I ain't gonna cap. I was reading like good stuff, but I was reading like all the hood novels though. But listen,
bro, no,
I had all of them, bro.
But that was, bro. I didn't read till I got in college. And you talking about, bro? Listen, the 48 Laws of Power,
bro.
Like,
I got into Harlan Coben. Like I really got into I got into it. I read the Bible. For the first time, fully through.
But there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Yeah,
there's messages and all that, bro.
Yeah, and that's where, honestly, like now, I think, I'm going to be honest, bro. Like right now, in this business, I truly, and listen, everybody would say this, I know there's not many people operating how I'm operating. In a sense of, from a transparency standpoint, from a what I want, how I'm going to get it, this is how I'm going to do this, you need to do that, right? And understanding where it's going and not being afraid to talk about it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
I agree with you,
like it's just almost like an unspoken thing in grassroots, like, oh, I'm just doing it because I love it. That's cool. I love it too. Maybe too much, you know, to where like, yeah, I want something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's okay.
But there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's called economics.
But the people that's in this business, especially in grassroots, that act like they don't want nothing, those people, man, get out my way.
Move, bro.
Get out my way, bro. You in my way.
I don't trust you.
Yeah, you in my way. You got an agenda, and it ain't clean. And I'm operating from a pure standpoint to where if it wasn't pure, why is it resonating at the level it is? And I don't talk about it. You talk about my son, G, like, bro, I don't even talk about him. You see what's happening with that on its own.
Correct. I agree. Even now, I mean, I try to dig in deep. Yeah, let's talk about Rob. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Other avenues,
because it's a journey, right?
Yeah, I agree, bro.
The journey is, we're on it now. And for me, the greatest asset, I think, and the greatest value I'm bringing to not just my son, to Rob, to any athlete or family I may be advising or consulting, is the empowerment and the information for you to always make the best decision for you first. It gotta start there. It can't start with what I'm gonna get.
Bro, you can't.
What you gonna do to show me what you think you deserve you should get?
And bro, even in the sales world, like, you know, I sold cars, but I had to figure out what they wanted first.
Yes.
In order for me to figure out how I can get it done.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if I figure that part out, then I know I can get what I need out of the situation.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with approaching things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, bro. So that whole story, that transparency, to me, it builds trust because whenever for example, when you see other scenarios where they go to jail, what's the first thing people say? Man, if he would have done something legit, he could have been a millionaire. Okay, but now you got a guy that's telling you, I done it. Hey, I sat down. Yeah. Okay, so now jump on this bandwagon because, you know, I can build something.
Yes.
I can use it for another avenue.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that transparency, bro, like, that's why I rock with you, bro. Like that 100%. Transparency is very vital to me. Like, you know, we talk. Transparency is everything for me, bro. Like, if you not,
and you can tell when somebody ain't really, you know what I mean,
moving like that,
you
bro.
can tell, bro. Like, I'm telling you, the universe is real,
bro. It's real, bro.
Like, you could tell, and that's where, like, I just tell families, man, trust that shit.
Yeah,
trust it.
Yep.
You may not know exactly the ins and outs of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Trust your discernment.
Correct.
From the spirit and energy that you're feeling.
Correct.
From whatever's being given off. Right? And then go do your due diligence.
Yep.
Go do your own research on fact checking.
Yep.
Right? Like look into it. The internet, man, Google is real.
Bro,
AI is real.
Pull you right up.
Like what? So it's like
surf everything in 2 seconds.
Yeah. So it's no point of me fabricating like my past or anything. It's really more like, honestly, you know, in this business, you know, that's what I guess my competitors would use against me. Of like, your felony, you know.
See, we're gonna hit them with that Eminem shit.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
a freestyle. Everything you gonna say about me,
yes,
ain't nothing else you can say now, bro.
Yeah, and so for me, it's like, hey, I don't even view it like I told you so mentality. I honestly, in my mind, bro, it's not a fuck enough. I have not done enough. I have so much more impact I can make. I have so many more kids' lives I can touch.
I agree, bro.
Right? So in my mind, it's like, yeah, like that's why I'm rooted and planted here in Charlotte, right? That's why I'm not flying all over the place, going to every game. You know, Rob and I are in tune. Like I literally, like we're in tune, but that's just because we have a relationship. You know what I mean? And so I'm just not getting off into trying to be living a life that isn't my life, right? Like I gotta work, right? I still have to work. Like Rob's in the NBA and all of that, but I have to work. Like I have real work that I have to do, you know? And that's the reality.
Man,
you know what
bro,
I mean?
Listen, man, that's but like I said, it goes back to that transparency for me, dog. That
being real.
That resonates with me more than anything, bro. And just navigating through that space and just being authentically you is what it is. So now I think we got 5 minutes, bro, because I can talk all day with you, bro. So let's talk about CPI.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I know y'all 1 year in right now. What is your 5-year plan? Because I know you're adding club teams now. You know what I'm saying? What is your 5-year plan? The reason I'm asking is, man, because I know you've built a program with over 20 teams before, okay? Yes. And you said one of the biggest things when we talked where you feel like you made a mistake is you grew too fast. And I don't think that people understand that.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You grew too fast and when you grow too fast, sometimes you got bad leadership
Yes.
that you had. Okay.
Yes.
What is your 5-year plan with CPI now, bro?
Well, because I've done it already, I'm basically redoing what I've done,
Gotcha.
and I'm just going to do it better, right? So I'm going to scale it, right, to where CPI is a real school. We participate in a scholastic conference. We won the state championship last year. We're playing for our second state championship this year. I have aspirations and goals to get CPI into the Nike Scholastic League. And that is a goal that within 5 years I hope to be a reality. But also being able to have land, real campus, start to really build. And I guess in the simplest way to explain it would be the IMG of Charlotte. Eventually, and now, hats off to Trevor Booker and what he's done with Combine.
I agree.
Right? Like, I think he's down that track already to become that, and pretty much is that. Multiple sports, they're operating at a high level. So, CPI,
nice facilities, everything, bro. Yeah, for real.
And so with CPI, just becoming a respected scholastic institution. Mm-hmm. It's really around the technology and business. That's what people don't understand. CPI stands for Charlotte Performance Institute of Sports, Technology, and Business. Mm-hmm. So, getting off into the esports and talking about workforce development where kids can come to CPI that's not athletes, right? They may be a music artist. They may be a business, whatever. They want to take a trade. They're taking that through esports and
that's dope, bro.
Being able to get a certificate and then go into the workforce right out of high school, right? That's where CPI is ultimately going. And then the international space, right? Providing the outlet for international kids to come here and make a better life for themselves, right?
Dope, bro. Dope, man. Listen, quick. The relationship with Rich Paul, how did that happen?
Yeah, Rob Dillingham. Hey, shit, like, what you want me to say? Hey, Rob fucking Dillingham. Like, that's how that happened. Because Rob, I interviewed a lot of agents, bro. I talked to so many different people, which is another conversation for another day. But, Rob.
We'll do part 2 on this, bro. Dive
Rob met 2 agents, right? Rich Paul and Thad Fouché.
Yeah.
And he chose Rich. And, and that's what Rob's choice was, and I'm aligned with Rob, so
bet.
Yeah, but as Rich as that relationship was, oh man. Yeah,
dope,
that's been powerful.
Dope. Listen, crazy episode, man. Hoop Lounge TV, Rico Grier in the building, man. Listen, part 2. Don't know when, but we're gonna do it though, man. Y'all take it easy, man. Appreciate y'all.